Okay, now we're into the account. Is it time to swap Yieldmax with Schwab D? Okay, because now the market has been falling, and it begs the question, should we be swapping Yieldmax, the more volatile Yieldmax, for Schwab D? Yieldmax, Schwab D, Defiance, Yieldmax, Roundhill, they all help me earn over $500,000 per year in dividends, as you can see below. And we're living financially free out of our brokerage account as a result. Is it all going now? Okay, great. All right, so we're live. All right, I just wanted to make sure everything was going fine. I mean, I've been talking for the last 5 minutes and didn't even know that the live wasn't working. Once again, it's working. All right, Navy is in the background. Hopefully you don't hear her snoring too much. But yeah, we're living financially free out of our brokerage accounts using Yieldmax and margin. If you need help doing the same, email me for my e-guides at aikentod48@gmail.com. It's also linked in the description below. You can see it in the comment section there. So we're living financially free. You saw in the last video that we had about 642,000 in dividends, six something, and now we're at 542. We also had some significant losses. These are not losses. Okay. These are just, sales that I made today. I always sell from the highest lots, and also we've earned all that back in dividends. So a lot of my positions show losses, as you know, with Yieldmax and Defiance, but, we're not actually losing that much because we've gotten these dividends back, I would say, twofold, because we get these dividends and we use the margin leverage. Okay. And once again, we have margin and Yieldmax, but is now the time to have all this margin leverage and Yieldmax? Should we be swapping to Schwab D because it's more conservative? All right. Well, we're already up $600 today. All right. With these maneuvers that I made, and members, please don't disclose the moves that I made yet today. Until I do my interview, okay, with all of my ETF CEOs. Okay, when I do the whole suite of interviews, then maybe disclose, why I shook up the portfolio so much. You all know why, but I don't want to say why I did so much today until I do those interviews. But you can always watch my private videos. You can view them at any time. They're there in the YouTube membership section, and even though they're live, you can always watch those later. Here it is on YouTube. So you just go over to click on my profile and go over to the membership section. So these losses, not real. We've gotten them back in dividends twofold, and I'm going to get some of that back in taxes, obviously. It's how I offset a lot of my taxes. So we've taken an income hit down to 542,000, but our margin debt has fallen to 330,000 from 465,000, like you saw recently. So this is very positive indeed, all right, because now my interest rates are nothing to me, my margin interest. I mean, I've already negotiated down twice, okay, and I always say at this point, many of my clients who bought my e-guides did the same thing. It's around 5%, okay, so, and when interest rates fall, then my margin interest falls as well, okay, so it's a little over 4%. When you buy my e-guide, you get my phone number for life, so I text you the script whenever you're ready. I just texted someone today. I don't know if Jason's watching. There's plenty of Jasons, so I'm sure he doesn't mind me giving his last name. So not worried about the interest, and I'm not worried about the leverage, because the dividends of over 542,000 will pay back my margin leverage in less than a year, okay? Less than half a year, pretty much, okay? So not worried about that. We were at 111 before the weekend. Okay. When we did that video over the weekend, we were at 111. Today we're down $30,000. Okay. And now we're up $600. Okay. So to me, that's a pretty significant shift. Okay. And again, the NASDAQ, if you look above, is down 0.46. We're up 0.05. All right. That's very encouraging to see, especially if we refresh the screen here. We can see that we're up 2,800 now, or 0.21%, which again is beating the NASDAQ above. Now, with the moves that I made to my members only, it's actually funny how both of those vehicles are up. That we sold out of one, and then the other we bought, and but both are up, so that's why we're benefiting from that today. We didn't sell completely out of the first vehicle, as you know. I want to give these details so badly, but I promised my friend Ari that I would do an interview with him and Defiance, and then I have Yieldmax, and then I have Granite shares. So I want to make sure that I talk about all of these. I get these interviews out of the way, ask all the hard-hitting questions before I just say what I'm going to do with them ultimately. But with Yieldmax, it begs the question, Defiance and Roundhill, they are indexed, so I'm never worried about those falling, okay? But Yieldmax can fall big because Yieldmax has such high beta, okay? And we all know that Yieldmax, like for example, FEAT is one of the funds that I buy for Yieldmax. It's a way to get high beta exposure without, single stock risk. Yieldmax is usually 50 to 100% maintenance. So right here, 50% maintenance. And that's a problem when you're trying to live financially free out of your brokerage account, even if you're not using margin. Well, that's sucking up half of your equity, okay? If you need help understanding maintenance, that's in my volume 3 e-guide, okay? And again, maintenance is how I survive this entire down market. It's how I live in up markets and down markets. When maintenance is high, then I can't live the lifestyle that I want to live, because for every dollar that you put in your account, as I always say, you get $4 of purchasing power. So out of this $1 million account, I'm getting $4 of purchasing power. By the way, why am I at 109? Okay, we're at 111. Why am I at 109 and we have days gains of 3,000? I should be at 114 compared to the last video if you're watching live. Well, my members know that when I sold those shares today, I'm going to just give you all a big nugget that I learned at the conference. When I sold those shares today of the mystery fund that I'll disclose later, or you can see it in my private lives at any time. Had I just called my broker and said, I want to sell 25,000 or more, you need about 25,000 or more to do this. If I had called my broker and said, I want you to sell this for me instead of me doing it for me, there was a 4-cent spread between the bid and the ask. I could have done it with them and gotten maybe charged 1 cent, and that would have saved me about $3,000 or $4,000. But I don't care. I'm going to bounce back even harder with the way that I've restructured, and I don't mind taking a loss for my members because, again, I would have called and done that myself, but I had to make all these moves and live for my members because I'll never leave them hanging. So I hope y'all know, private members, that did bring me down by about $4,000 to $5,000, as we predicted, by the spreads. Just want to let y'all know that that's my dedication to y'all, and that's my pledge to y'all that I'll never leave you hanging. So thanks for being there, and also thank you for being with me this morning as well. Okay, it helps me stay accountable. And now we're much better positioned to go forward. I mean, we have some Schwab D, but if we go look at the holdings of Schwab D, you'll see that I also own many of the holdings within. If you're in my lives, okay, I can also show you a little bit of my portfolio here. My options were up today. We took profits in our options, but if you go up to these, some of these areas here, you see Mondelez, United Healthcare, Coca-Cola. We definitely own. We own Coca-Cola. Here's again the holdings of Schwab D. We definitely own AbbVie, Coca-Cola, Amgen. We took some profits in Amgen today. All right. We own Cisco. Pfizer has been a sketchy one, but we've been in and out of that. We basically own all these. We own Verizon. We own Pepsi. So I own Schwab D through the stocks themselves, okay, because they can move up bigger and I can manage them easier. Also, Schwab D, I haven't done research on them in a while, but from what I understand, they sell some covered calls. So that's going to cap your upside with Schwab D, but it still moves up well. Today the market was down and Schwab D was up, but that's the way that it's been going for us with our staples. You've seen that in past videos that we are constantly, up in our staples names when tech and those are down. So it's just been a sector rotation, we feel, and Schwab D, it has these great staples names in it. Like I said, I own many of them. It also owns some healthcare and stuff like that. Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index. I own not only Schwab D. As of today, we bought a little bit of Schwab D just to track this. But and I've covered Schwab D so many times in the past. But also I own these stocks within. And I really believe that if you own all the stocks, then you can rebalance them as you need, and you can rebound, you can outperform yourself. But the professionals are professionals, and if you want to just let them do it, by all means, go for it. I think there are many opportunities in the staples space. I've been pounding the table on staples, and you can see it's 14% of Schwab D. Financials are 19%. So if the market is falling, I remember when the rates were rising during 2022, financials and things like that were getting crushed, but staples were doing well. So I've been having an overweighted section in my portfolio dedicated to staples. And, I think that, again, you can get specialized performance out of those using those staples. But members, please tell me in the chat if you think that we should, be buying Schwab D or be buying a combination of Schwab D with the stocks, or should we just leave out Schwab D and the stocks all in all and go with Yieldmax as a whole. But again, the issue with Yieldmax is it has 50% maintenance. And so a lot of the funds that I'm in have 30% maintenance. Cornerstone we added to today. As y'all know, Cornerstone is now green. And we're buying the dips today in it because this is, the absolute low in my opinion. Not absolute low. We never know. We never have a crystal ball. But if you look at the charts, it's at the absolute low, Cornerstone. Cornerstone is a 4-star fund. If you don't know, there's Calamos. We obviously own Calamos as well. But here's Cornerstone, 4-star fund. And the premiums at the NAV are 16 for CLM. CRF, it's 19. So we're getting these 18% gains in CRF every month, okay, on top of the 20% dividend, on top of the day's gains like you're seeing today, okay? So Cornerstone is a way that we really get this leverage with our account because we can use margin and safely use margin leverage with Cornerstone at 30% maintenance. Again, here's maintenance for Cornerstone here. It's 30% maintenance. And if you don't understand maintenance, that's in my Volume 3 e-guide. You can also call me anytime you have questions on maintenance, okay? People read my e-guides, and also they want to run by, run scenarios by me on how they can, maximize their portfolio using maintenance with their particular brokerage account. I just warn them that you can switch to other brokers and get lower maintenance, but they might not have that special drip for Cornerstone, okay? Not every broker has that drip for Cornerstone, and if you want to know which brokerages do that, we have that at Discord, okay? You can always go to Discord and see which broker has the special drip for Cornerstone. We also alert you of the Cornerstone rights offering announcement here in Discord. If you're new to my channel, where is that announcement? Here it is, announcement only. And so this told us when to sell, okay? Very thankful for my Discord because it gave me that alert before I was even aware of it, okay? So that's the big value of my Discord. I saw, if you go look at a channel, it says Todd Aiken Exposed. I forgot who did it. It's a really funny video, okay? Todd Aiken Exposed. You should go look it up. This guy who exposed me. But it was all good, okay? I don't even want to ruin the ending for you. You go watch it, okay? Todd Aiken Exposed. Go check that out for your entertainment. And in that, I was reading the comments and they said that my Discord was 400 or something like that. No, it's not anywhere near that. Discord is actually free when you buy my e-guides, okay? So you get my phone number when you buy my e-guides and Discord when you buy my e-guides. We have around 2,000 members in this Discord chat room pursuing the FIRE lifestyle. So they all sort of took a leap of faith with me. They email me for my e-guides. I email them back a template, okay? It says, here's more information on my e-guides, ... So just in case you're emailing me and I email you back with that template, know that that's not spam. Sometimes I'm really fast, so I'm not a robot. Some people think I'm really fast, and it's just amazing. But honestly, I have all these templates ready. I just send it to you right when I see your request, okay? And sometimes I get the same questions over and over, like, okay, well, how do I negotiate my rates down? Well, I have a script ready and I send it. Okay, all of my members can attest to that in the comments. And so people ask questions about maintenance, everything else. So I made an e-guide for that. All right, so I could just direct you all to one place without having to waste my precious time. All right, but again, if you want to call me, if you have questions about anything, maintenance or anything, just let me know. I'm here, but know that when you go to another broker, you might not get the special drip for Cornerstone, or you might get lower maintenance, but you might not want to just use all of your maintenance, of course, and just use all of your margin leverage because you have low maintenance, because that's how you really get caught in a pickle. All right, now you can go to portfolio margin, which I don't use. I use traditional. Many of my members at Discord do. If you want to know how to use portfolio margin, you get much lower maintenance. It's much safer. Go there, check that out. I think Denali was pointing out in the comments today something about that. So be very careful with your margin in a down market right now, even though the market looks like it's putting in some sort of a bottom, okay? I mean, Cornerstone looks like it's at the absolute lows. We know that the Nasdaq's down 15%, S&P down 10. It's S&P down 10, Nasdaq down 15, Russell down 20. I mean, it's kind of perfect, and we still have strong jobs. This sounds like a repeat of my live this morning, but we still have strong jobs, strong GDP. Inflation barely creeped up. Inflation doesn't even mean anything with tariffs because you just have a complementary good in economics where you switch from one expensive good and you go to the cheaper good. All right, so that offsets inflation. It's just a law of economics. Okay. So I feel like, we're getting close to a bottom, but even if we're not, we're ready, okay, because we have low maintenance names. Again, that's in volume 3. Refer to volume 3 if you need help with maintenance, okay? Even if you're not using margin, make sure that you have low maintenance, because if you just want to withdraw out of your account, even without margin, if you're in 50% maintenance names, you've sucked up so much of your equity. You can't even withdraw. I use my E-Trade card. I go wherever I want. I always tell people I swipe it and go wherever I want. I just use my debt, and then my dividends pay it back at the end of the month, okay? So I get to buy and buy whatever I want, do whatever I want, but you have to make sure that you avoid a margin call. That's like the name of the game. And we're not even close to a margin call. We have way too much available for withdrawal, to be close to a margin call. And the way that we're structured now, we're so locked in on the long side and the short side that it's really hard to lose, but we're still going to get days gains in the process. You would think if the longs and the shorts are neutralized, how are you ever going to make gains? Well, look at that. We're outperforming the market today, okay? So I'm not selling my portfolio, but I'm not saying go to my live portfolio constantly. I'm just saying, hey, look at these positions, 184. It's kind of hard to share everything with you in one day, but that's how we're doing it, okay? And we're using Cornerstone. I bought some of that at the lows, but play Cornerstone properly around its rights offerings, okay? That we knew about this high because of the rights offering, because of the N2, which precedes the rights offering, or you could have just played the premium thresholds properly in Cornerstone. That's how I've leveled up my account. You wonder how I got from 100,000 to $1 million? Okay, I took a couple 100,000 in loans, big deal. The rest of it was 50% gains year after year. Okay, you've seen it since I've been covering YouTube, and you can see everything, right? Year after year. Okay, I've been getting these gains because of leverage and Cornerstone. You pocket all the gains, and it tells you when to sell. We got the alert, and then you buy back after at the lows, okay? So, and if you need help with Cornerstone, that's in my volume 4 e-guide, all right? So we have Cornerstone. We have been, anchoring with Cornerstone, Roundhill, Defiance, but we have Yieldmax too. It's a smaller portion of the portfolio, but again, it begs the question right now, should we be selling Yieldmax, okay, because this market's in sketchy, territory. So if we go to the SPY chart, you'll see here, we're making a higher high and higher low there. It looks like we're coming off the lows. It's looking very positive. We saw this bottom in the morning with my live members, and I don't know, this is looking pretty constructive. So I would say with Schwab D, I own some, but I own a small amount because I feel like both can rally right now. People are feeling defensive in this environment, and so they want to have this kind of safety, but also tech is getting cheap right here. So even though it was tech down, Schwab D and these others doing well, as you can see, our other staples names, as you saw in my portfolio. I mean, look at some of the gains, okay, of these staples names right here. You can see, Kimberly-Clark 6, BG 6, 10%, Coca-Cola right there. The ones that you see are losses are either fractional or are not staples, like Caterpillar right here. But Caterpillar is a huge part of the index, down 2.86%. So anyway, that's how we get our low maintenance exposure going higher. And so, again, should we be selling Yieldmax right here? Is this just a calm before the storm? Okay, or is this the bottom in the market? If it is the bottom, should we still own Schwab D? And if we're going lower in this market, should we own Schwab D instead of Yieldmax? Okay, let me see what the chat is saying. All right, hey Frosty Dog, Casey, Misery, good evening. Yeah, I know we spoke earlier this afternoon from Germany. All right, so thanks for being here, Frosty Dog. Always appreciate it. My admin, Frosty Dog, Jetta, Gaines, Hash, Hashor, That's Bitcoin mining he does. I really appreciate my admin. Can't thank y'all enough. And, my Discord members, Jonathan, my YouTube members, Silers, Wayne, good to see you. Yeah, I know, Jonathan. Hey, it's a much better morning now, isn't it? I thought those moves, I didn't want to make those moves, but with those changes to those funds, we had to do something. But we'll alert the public more on that once we know more from this interview. And I think, again, we're much stronger going forward. We have a little bit less income, 500,000 versus 600,000, Jonathan. But now we have only 300,000 of debt. We can go do whatever we want, okay? And we have all of our shorts on. We still have that whole 100K of short, to raise back 100K of LF withdrawal, and we still have our options. Hey, Silers. Hey, Wayne. And those options were up huge for us today. Someone was asking. I mean, they're up a few 100% in total. I sold half. Someone was asking what I wanted to do with those options. I sold half, kept the other on, of course, always keeping insurance on. If you need help buying options, that's in my volume 5 e-guide. Okay. If you have questions on how I use my options and selling options, that's volume 6. Wayne. Okay. LRS will only be able to stick around for a few minutes. Todd, take my energy. Will do, LRS. I appreciate that because I'm lacking it, but that definitely helps. Shill, okay, good to see you, sir. Glad you're here. Okay, let's see what kind of conversation we can have today. Okay, hopefully it's more civil. Hey, Marcos. All right, Marcos, I was going to ask you. Okay, Marcos has his own channel on YouTube. And so obviously Marcos covers Schwab D a lot. Okay, here's Marcos. And, I met him at the conference. He's a great guy. And I was hoping he would chime in here or there. I know he's busy today. He sent me a text, but if he could talk about maybe the reconstitution of Schwab D and how those additions could help or hurt Schwab D. And also he covers these other stocks. So check out his channel if you get a chance. He's very detail oriented. And again, he covers Schwab D a lot. So hopefully he'll chime in here. Hey, CLD. Hey, okay, I have my picture here. All right. I don't know how to say your name. Let me move my picture. Okay. Just wonder if y'all can see everything that way in the future. Intent is good to see you again. Thank you. Intent is. Hey, Bubble. DM, I bought more Coney and Tesla this morning. Not selling anytime soon. Just getting dividend. Yeah, I think it's an interesting time for Coney. Okay, we bought some more Coney too. I mean, look at Coinbase. You have to look at the underlyings, not the actual wrapper. And look, it's at the lows again. Okay, on the chart. I'm not saying it's at the lows, and I'm not a financial advisor. But I always buy low, sell high, and I look at the charts, and that's in my volume 2, by the way. I don't know if members ever look at my volume 1 and 2, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, but that's what got me here. That's how I get my timing so well. Here is a perfect higher high and higher low chart of Coinbase. We could go check out Seeking Alpha and just see if there's, make sure there's no, outstanding issues with Coin, okay? So Coin, solid case for buying the dip, perfect buy opportunity. We need to talk about Coinbase. What's he saying? I have an account with Seeking Alpha, obviously, but so technical indicators, I just like to see if there's some kind of balance sheet issues or something like that. Nothing, if it's cosmetic or short term, I don't care. Withdrawal suggests bullish trends, significant revenue growth opportunities in retail. So just potential lawsuit. Withdrawal, okay, suggests bullish trend. I wish I was logged into this so I could see the rest, but I'll get to the bottom of it and get back to you on that. But Coin, as I showed you on that chart, is at the lows for Yieldmax. If we go to Coney, all right, Coney, Cony, you'll see that that's the Yieldmax version, and it did very well. It was up 92%. When I did that piece with Bloomberg, they're talking about the erosion in these funds and if they're real. And then I had another guy, I forgot his name, something research, I don't want to give him a shout out, said that I was just an idiot for using Yieldmax. Look at these charts of Coney. But if you go to a total return page of Coney at Yieldmax, you'll see I had 92%. So we're going here, Coney, but now it's fallen significantly, obviously, but you have to factor in dividends. It gave you almost a 92, it gave you almost 100% gain in the stock price, and it gave you 100% dividend, okay, roughly. So returns here 97%, even though on the chart you see otherwise, okay? And I know Spencer Invest, another YouTuber that I met, okay? This isn't just a shameless plug, okay? Spencer Invest, he does challenges with Yieldmax, and he just did a video on this new Yieldmax ETF coming out. It's a semiconductor ETF, so I thought that was interesting because, I know about all of my stuff based on my members and the YouTube community, basically. They tell me about all these new funds. So he does challenges, and I know he did one with Coney, and he has a lot of information. Here's his video on Coney. So check out his challenges if you ever want to see how he's truly doing with Yieldmax. All right, that's Spencer, okay? So we have Spencer, we have Marcos, and of course, I hope Ari's watching, but Ari Gutman, I just have to get him out there. I have to get Ari out there. I'll get it out there when the time comes, okay? I'm going to check out the chat. I'm so excited to actually have not only some friends in the YouTube space, and you can see all of my growth in real time, just publicly. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can right in front of you, but I'm so thankful for my members too. My members, these are really dedicated members, really intelligent, highly affluent, much more successful than me in some cases, and they're like extended family members to me, all right? And same for these YouTube creators. I feel like we should all be leading this movement to bring financial freedom, all right, to everyone in the world, okay? And we're just kind of shifting. We're making a shift here, it's like a paradigm shift, shaking things up, going from traditional ETFs to these Yieldmax and Granite Shares ETFs. So hopefully you'll see, in Defiance Around Hill, hopefully you'll see more coverage out of that. Why SPY news, Marco? Not sure. I mean, I know the S&P, was down today, and we're definitely buying. I want to buy some more Granite shares. Waiting for a maintenance announcement from Will. He said he might, bring some, some relief there in the form of a lower maintenance for us investors. Hopefully you can see everything okay here. It's not too bright in this room. Let me know if you want me to fix the lighting. LRS, thanks Denali. It hurts seeing all this red on my dashboard. Yeah. XABY, some do. Look up time weighted returns. Most brokers use this to exclude cash deposit withdrawals. Right. So Denali, are you saying ticker symbol XABY, or is that what you're saying? Let's check that out. XABY. Make sure I don't go too long, Chris, because I don't want to. Yeah, I think you're just saying an acronym, right? If I'm understanding correctly, Denali. So Truck Sama, I'm doing the CWP, Tryon, QDVO, IDVO, and Devo. Okay, Truck Sama. Yeah, I know that Devo is a popular fund. It's like a Schwab D in my opinion. It gives you this 5% dividend or so. The VYMs of the world, Schwab Ds of the world, these will do very well. Devo in a down market or a shaky environment. All right. Thanks for those ideas, Truck Sama. John, I retreated to BRKB for my safe haven, definitely. And someone here recommended Omaha. Okay, and so we bought that because it has a dividend. John, I've retreated to 67 Combat, PLTY, PLTW, and Tesla, PLTW. Is that? I see what you're saying. So yeah, we did add to Palantir today as well. We rebalanced that. I agree with you, 67. And defensive names have done really well today. Hey, Chris, they've offset decay. Okay, once again. Can y'all see Navy back there? Yeah, she's knocked out. TJ's reading. You want to come say hi, TJ? Show him your game. Show him your Minecraft game. Okay. Okay, LRS got to go. Have a good weekend. Everyone keep up the positive vibes, especially you, Shill. Thanks, LRS. Any suggestions for a different anchor fund than CRF? My broker doesn't allow drip for CRF. Yeah, I use Roundhill and Defiance for my other anchors. And again, I wish I knew how to say your name right there. DM, it depends on your brokerage margin maintenance. I stick with Yieldmax as I use Fidelity and margin maintenance for Coney and Tesla. I can work with that, definitely, DM. Also, Fidelity, they have a little bit higher maintenance for Cornerstone there. So just be aware that if you're trying to go into Cornerstone in a big way, which, that's what's helping me outperform. It's not only these staples names, but we're dripping Cornerstone at the bottom so that we're buying the market at the bottom because it's the only fund in the world that drips at the NAV, okay, with a 20% dividend on top of those huge premiums. So we're dripping at the NAV, and so I buy it in a big way, except for, during the rights offering period. You want to watch out with that. Check out my volume 4 or the lies if you want to see how we're playing Cornerstone more in depth right here. But you get that advantage with the drip. We're outperforming with them in staples plays, but the maintenance at E-Trade is a little bit lower for Cornerstone, just in case you wanted to go bigger into Cornerstone for some reason. Yieldmax, Fidelity is great for. I feel like Fidelity is the best overall brokerage, but if you're again big into Cornerstone, it's an issue. For me, it raised my available by 40,000. I had to stay here. But if I was ever in a pinch, I'd just go over to Fidelity, buy perhaps less Cornerstone because the drips wouldn't be worth much if the market's crashing. You wouldn't have much of a premium there. And I would go to Fidelity. I used to say IBKR, but IBKR, I like the card. I can swipe with my E-Trade card and go where I want. Fidelity, you can also swipe with the card. Let me know if you can with IBKR, but I hear in Discord. Well, I haven't checked Discord in a while, so check my Discord if you need help with picking a broker who you can use your debit card to live out of your account with. So I agree. I appreciate that comment very much, DM. So next day, does Trump want the mortgage rates to go to 4? You would think so, right? Real estate's also been doing well for us this whole time. Hey, Major Sam, Lance, Marcos. All right. Retire. Am I? Okay. Retire on dividends. Hey, Flux, good to see you. Thank you so much, Lance. Insurance Joe, Todd is the man, everyone. If you're sleeping on Todd's teachings, don't. It is life-changing. Thank you so much, Insurance Joe. Joe is a great friend of me. There are so many Joes, all right? I have Joe, a brother from another mother. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. Okay, I'll try to go over. I won't go over it much. I have, Insurance Joe, who's like, I don't know. He's just so positive, and you always bring joy to my day every day, Joe. So keep coming with that humor and those positive vibes. You're like all of you guys are my brothers, guys and gals, okay? And I can't thank you enough, Joe. I just want to highlight you there, Joe. But I don't want to take away from my other Joes. Love you all, right? All right. Intentes, exactly. Nick Spam, I'm definitely getting out of Yieldmax for Curve and Neos. Yeah, see, Nick, I have a short that I never released, but I might want to release it just to remind people, like, for me, I stick with Yieldmax because I need more dividends in a down market. If they both fall the same, well, why wouldn't you go with the higher dividends from Yieldmax? Just please let me know. I mean, if you think Curves doesn't fall as much, which I would think in a down market, everything falls. But, even if it falls less, okay, the income is what I get, the qualifying income. I need dividends to live my life, to get a house or car. I need those, okay, to continue paying my bills. I need them because, if Curve is having less of a dividend in a down market, yeah, you're falling less, but you're not paying your bills. You don't want to sell from it to pay your bills. You incur taxes and you lose your earnings. You lose your earnings potential. So I have to go with Yieldmax for those reasons. But let me know what you think of those comments, Nick Spams. Marcos, of course, Marcos, appreciate you. We'll definitely hop on a live, brother. Okay, let's do it. Beast, hey, 2 streams today. This is great. Thank you so much, Beast. HIP stock seems to be stable. I agree. You talking about Granite shares, 1 beats. I remember him sharing that on the podcast, how valuable that was. If that's what you're referring to. Regulus, to live on dividends, you'll need to have $1 million invested in Schwab D. There are individual stocks with better dividends, better growth potential. Yeah, I agree, Regulus. The only reason why I bring it up today, thanks for that comment, Regulus. I want the debate. I just, I remember 2022, everything was falling, but Schwab D was killing it. And I was like, okay, I see the merits for Schwab D. It's like staples and defensives, and it really works in a down market, helps shield you in a down market. Everything obviously hurts in a crash, but in a bear market, the staples were the go-to play. So is now that time, or has that ship sailed? Have we had the big gains in that? But you see Schwab D is pretty balanced. It doesn't just have staples. It has financials, as you saw. So it's going to still work in an up market. Aaron, okay, but I totally agree with you, Regulus. Yieldmax and Defiance and Cornerstone and Round Hill helped me get there much faster. Not a lot of Yieldmax fans in Vegas. No, retire on dividends. You'd be amazed. I didn't even see Yieldmax there. So didn't hear anything about them. Didn't see them there. If they were there, no, I didn't notice, and no one else seemed to either. It's strange though. Riz, XETE is good. You get around 20% dividends, and the value is almost similar to that of SPY. XETE is good for me, Riz. I agree. So if you're fine with market correction, you're technically good with Riz. I like XETE as well. There are going to be some changes to these funds, so stay tuned. Okay, Round Hill, Yieldmax, Defiance. I'll clarify soon when I have more information. You saw my live today. But XETE has 50% maintenance for me, so that's one reason why I can't have too much in it. So much maintenance, too little yield for me, Riz. But at another broker, I could see how it works really well. Even in E-Trade, it works as far as like it has minimal drawdowns. GPIX, GPIQ, definitely own a little bit of those. Hey, Albert. Again, tell me your name, and by the way, it's hard to remember, but my name in Japanese literally says the world. All right. Okay. So I'll try to remember that. All right. So, man, that's an awesome name. All right. World. I'll call you World. Okay. Mr. M, GPIX is great. Yeah, it definitely is. For some reason, it's 50% maintenance for me. I can't stand that. SCHD, low beta, high dividend. Definitely. Right. That's another one. Great recommendation, Mike. One of our go-tos from a few months ago now. But yeah, Devo, SPHD, SCHD, VYM, those work in down markets. And especially what Truck Sama said. Ben, Ethereum is really low right now. I honestly don't know the outlook for Ethereum. There are the dividend funds like the YETH and then 2 times Ether, ETH. I go with the dividends, so I keep qualifying for banks for loans to the banks, and so that I keep living free. And I just know that I'm up against a timer, so I have to go. Hey, Stuart. Hello from Dallas. All right, we're not far from each other. Baja, is Ulti paying weekly now? We got an alert in our Discord saying that, you could check my Discord to verify, but I think they postponed it or something. They messed up, and it'll be coming in April. That's all that I know. Blake, Fidelity is making ETFs 100% maintenance for 30 days before becoming marginable. Avoid Fidelity. Interesting, Blake. I did not know that. Thank you for that information, Blake. Matt, how do you feel about Yieldmax long term? If not Yieldmax, what's your plan? I like it long term, Matt, FX, because the returns are on my side. You've seen those returns, and you can't deny the statistics, okay? Like, for example, we showed you the Yieldmax returns for Coney, So I like Yieldmax. Even if it's going down to the ground, they do reverse splits, and that's just all cosmetic, okay? Also, really quick, I'd just be remiss to not shout out Ryan Williams, okay, because he was another friend I met, okay? And I don't care if this looks, this looks crazy, me shouting him out, whatever, okay? Let's all get ahead together. Ryan also covers Schwab D and the changes within them, so check out Ryan. He's got a huge channel, so he definitely has some experience in this field, all right? And Ari, of course. I want to say thank you to Ari. He's one of the guys I took that, I had that photo with him on my Twitter, okay? You can follow me here on Twitter at any time, okay? My Twitter following, this is where I make updates when I'm not doing videos on YouTube. I would follow Ray Dalio, but he's such a doom and gloom guy. But I don't follow many on YouTube, on Twitter, but I try to, follow Tom Lee, of course. I have members who subscribe to his service, so I always get the scoop from them in my Discord. So again, if you want my number or if you want to go to Discord and get all that kind of information, it's a great resource. then you have that for free when you buy my e-guides. Again, if you want to email me, that's in the description below. Okay, akintod48@gmail.com. All right. Ari Gutman, once again, this is, also a dear friend to me now, and you can see his channel here, okay? And we're going to be doing some podcasts together, all of us together. So look out for all of their channels, because you can find me there if you're a fan of my strategy, okay? We'll be mixing it in with all their strategies, so it should make for some really good content, okay? Let me pull up the rest of that chat. Can't see here. Okay, what did I do? Okay. Oh gosh, it's so dark in my... It's so bright here, and I can't see anything in my chat. Hold on. So here we go. All right. Thanks again, Lance. And also comments I missed in the last video. Michael, Abrigo, GX, and GIX, SPYT. Love those both. Okay. And Tiger, thanks for the lives today. Following you about Yieldmax on this. Many income funds drop heavy anyways during a downtrend, so might as well get the higher yield. Exactly, Tiger. I know you're a fan of YMAX. I remember. I know that well, believe me. And when I speak about Yieldmax, I'm always trying to look out for members who are particularly, more overweighted into it. So I thought maybe you'd like today's video about Schwab D, for example. It might be a good compliment, Tiger, even though, I understand you're probably, all or nothing with Yieldmax. I get that. And, the returns have shown that that's perhaps the right thing to do. Okay. Just watch your maintenance, make sure you're always following the rules. Okay. If you need the guide on how I actually live financially free out of my account using margin and my card and everything, that's in volume 3. Okay. If you're just joining the stream late. Okay, Baja, something went haywire last week with Ulti. They were supposed to pay on Friday, didn't show until today, so you got it today. Okay, great, Baja. All right, that's very encouraging for the rest of us. Thanks for that info, Baja, Johnny. Invest with Alex. Ulti is my favorite. Yeah, some people love that. Some people hate it. Some people love it. It's so polarizing. I bought some more of it today, and I'm enjoying it so far. Baja, Alex is one of my favorites too. Yeah. I like the new Granite Yield Boost, Mike. Yeah, me too. I should be looking into buying that right now, but I want to wait on that maintenance change, okay? From Will, okay? I hope that he gets that maintenance down. I'll make sure to remind him. Mike Summers, they sell puts on the triples, right? And we sold some puts of our own today, okay? We lowered our margin a little bit more by selling our options. Obviously, I've lowered my margin by selling options on Bitcoin, and that you can see that that's up for us here. We've lowered our margin debt by 100,000, over 100,000 just by selling these options. And people are so scared of selling puts. Why? Okay, you sell puts. It's safer than buying the stock outright. We're controlling BitX at 20, not the current market price. So BitX 70 minus 49, that's 20. We've lowered our margin debt by 100,000. And if you go look at a price of BitX, you'll see that it's at 35. So we own it at 20. And if you go to a chart of BitX and what it did, okay, you'll see that BitX made you a lot of money over the last 10 years, okay? Even though it's leveraged. Someone asked me in my comments, do you know what you're doing? You're selling puts on leveraged funds. So what? Granite Shares sells puts on leveraged ETFs. And as long as you're with a good asset class, you can go with leveraged vehicles like BitX. And I sell puts on Yieldmax, Defiance, not really Roundhill. But look, 10,000 made you 46,000 in only a couple of years, okay? Not even a 10-year test. So BitX is risky, but all of that, I have a lot of assignment. I have 100,000 BitX on for assignment roughly, but that's already factored into my available withdrawal. Again, if you need help selling options, that's in volume 6, okay? That's how I really lower my margin, lower my risk, lower my volatility, lower my interest payments, and go long Bitcoin at the lows should I get assigned. All right, it's a really powerful tool to combine with Yieldmax. You use Yieldmax puts, you use leveraged index puts and high quality asset classes. You do the puts because they have high volatility. All right, so I'll go ahead and leave y'all there because I've done so many lives today. I'm exhausted. You love Misty, Joe. I agree. Nick Spam, I agree, but do you think the market will keep dropping? I love Misty, but I'm down so much. I don't think the dividends are even leveling out because it keeps dropping. Yes, that's a big trap. That's why you don't want to put it all into one Yieldmax name. As it drops, especially one that's tied to a stock, it could fall, by the amount of the stock, and then the dividends fall because the distributions fall, because the premiums fall. The premiums fall because the IV falls. When the share price gets smaller, the IV falls. Again, that's in my volume 6 if you need help understanding options and how you get those premiums and how I sell them instead, okay? I go for that, for the high IV, but the lower share price. Invest with Alex. Missy's the best. They come, they're income funds, not growth. They can drop, right, but they can also go up if you catch them at the right times. And we did a chart on Coinbase today, Coney, and you can see that, okay? Also, I think Uber's here, and that's great because I'm starving. I got some duck bao. It's Chinese. I'm trying to stay healthy because this is a stressful market. It's either stressful or it's just really exciting, whichever way you want to look at it. Is it fear or is it opportunity? And so I'm always trying to eat healthy and exercise healthy. And you just put that right on the card, by the way. Get the points on your credit card, cashback points, and then E-Trade just pays it all back, Do you ever buy protective puts? Of course, world. Okay, I buy puts. We're up huge, 200 or 300%. I think maybe even 300 or 400%. I forgot. I took the profits early today. Volume 5. If you need help buying puts, but also selling puts is volume 6. Volume 5, buying puts, saves a lot of my time and energy. But also, you can just go to my lives and you can see how I did that today. You can view my lives at any time here. Okay, on YouTube. This is obviously Ari's page. Again, check out his channel, and Ryan Williams, obviously. And you can check out my channel here. Again, you just click on my name. I don't know exactly how I need to take this out. Okay, Ari Gutman. We go to home. You go here. You follow my membership portfolio here. Okay. Gosh, I still can't find it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, okay, you just go follow me here. This is where I make updates when I'm not making videos on YouTube, okay? Follow me right here, okay, on X, okay? So I have SMS alerts for those who don't want to follow Discord or my Twitter. If they're more old-fashioned, I give you my text alerts. You can just upgrade in YouTube at any time, okay? So just go to unconventional wealth ideas, and you can see it there, okay? Memberships right here. This SMS is in the second option. Okay, I have many options that you can choose from. All right, if you need my e-guides, okay, email me at aikentod48@gmail.com. That's how we're outperforming the market. We're up, we earned 500,000 dividends, but we're beating the indexes. We're up 2,500 today, 0.19, and the NASDAQ is down. Okay, so when you factor back in my margin, we're more in line with the S&P. All right, the Dow's up big. The Dow is kind of like Schwab D because Schwab D is like, it's on the Dow Jones US 100 dividends. So I've also bought UDow to get more performance, by the way, to pair with Schwab D. Okay, we're in between the S&P and the NASDAQ, which is how we outperform the indexes and continue to live free, okay, because we perform with the indexes. We don't fall by the amount of stocks, and we keep our available withdrawal high because we have low maintenance names. All right, go check out my shorts, okay, how I got through some dark times when I was traveling abroad with my family. And I saved myself based on maintenance and my options. All those can be found in boxing, Cornerstone, shorting it. All that can be found in my e-guides, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, all right? I really enjoyed being here with y'all. I'm exhausted. One of the biggest mistakes I made was selling all of Misty for a quick one-time profit. Yep, now it's a good time to get back in, maybe. Baja, what's up? It's Ruggiero, I hope I'm saying that right. Rugerio, Nick, and you guys think today's a good buying day or should I wait? Hey, tough to say, Nick. I would say go to my lives. We kind of debate it more there. All right, Baja, okay, world. Yeah, check out volume 5 for my puts. Baja, I'm waiting. I think he's waiting for you, Nick Spams. Nick Spams, what I think I'm going to do is also have a ton of buying power. I want to see what happens next 2-3 weeks. Sell puts on Yieldmax, interesting. I want to sell them for Coney and Bobo. You're welcome, world, okay? All right, thanks for all the comments, everyone. I love you all. I'll see you on the next video, okay? Stay tuned for that Defiance interview and all the podcasts I'll be doing with those other creators, okay? Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you, buddy.